want me to. Hi everybody, hope you are doing well. I know it's the last session of the day, so we hope we'll make it very informative and engaging. I think I love this topic. It's one of those topics that a lot of people probably are not very familiar with. I'm in the area of electronic waste management. So basically in waste management, my name is Nancy Ngede from a company called We Center. We Center stands for Waste, Electrical, and Electronic Equipment. So as we talk about digital space, a lot of us don't think about what happens to those gadgets. And I know as we are creating content, we're always thinking about the fastest, the best, the powerful, next, whether it's Samsung, iPhone, or whatever phone. You're thinking about upgrading your Samsung fridge, TV. But then we don't pause to think, all right, what is happening to these gadgets once they've reached their end of life? So that is where We Center comes in. And I think it's a space that now is getting a lot of attention. Initially, a lot of people were not seeing how serious it is. And it's because I know like a lot of us will sell our non-working items to our local bidders or vendors. We call them mari in our local area. So what they do is they remove some of the very precious parts. They might remove metal, maybe remove circuit boards, for the engineers in the house who would understand. And then all the other parts are thrown away as trash. Now these items will end up in our rivers, Nairobi River and the others. A lot of them will also burn them. Go to Dandora, you'll find, they are burning cables, they are burning a lot of these other electronic devices. So that means then that we are contributing to polluting our soil, our water, our air, which has direct impact to our health. So even as you speak, and we had the other session about, medicine and a lot of information, we have to realize that the digital, where we are with the digital space, is contributing to our environmental issues. And if we don't take care of them, then we go back to our health issues. Because again, we are getting, for example, our vegetables growing from this bad soil, bad water, which we consume and we get unwell. So I think for me, the emphasis is, as the demand for techie grows, let's be very conscious about what happens to our devices. And I think I'll mention that, how we can reduce our carbon emission. The simple things that we and you can do to contribute. So let's not be ignorant. Think about your other phones in your space in the house, the other tablets. As we buy toys to our younger ones, toys is a very big now of later stream of electronic waste. So basically electronic waste is any of your device that is powered by a battery or electricity that's not working. And I know we have many, so it means we are contributing to our CO2 emission in the houses. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy, for sharing that, and we have to talk after the session. But yeah, hi everybody. My name is Vandana Satgur, and I'm the founder of ESG Studio Share, a millennial-run sustainability management consultancy from South Africa, advising management teams and boards on all things related to people, planet, profit, and progress. Equally important to me is ensuring that we ensure socially, structurally inclusive and psychologically safe operating environments in organizational cultures. I also have over 6 years of experience working with over 200 young professionals across 10 Southern Africa countries, advocating for youth at decision-making tables. And today I want to speak to you not just about sustainability, the profession, but as somebody deeply concerned about the well-being of our youth, our planet, and our inner climate. We often talk about global warming, but what about emotional warming? What happens when the tools that are meant to connect us begin to burn us out? Today we explore a new frontier where mental health, climate action, and digital life intersect. So thank you, Collins, for the invite, and to the DEWS team as well. So I would just like to maybe share about, the triple threat crisis that we're essentially talking about here today, and it's the digital overexposure, e-waste, and digital emissions, as well as eco-anxiety in this panel. youth today are born into screens, scrolling before they can write, but in many homes and classrooms, there's little guidance on healthy digital rhythms. We see reduced attention spans, emotional fatigue, and tech-induced burnout, starting as young as the age of 8. Every scroll, stream, and selfie emits CO2, as we know. In fact, digital emissions now surpass the entire aviation sector. And in my research, Kenya's e-waste is piling up and often unmanaged, exposing young people to toxic waste in informal sectors. Eco-anxiety, as we are going to learn, climate stress is no longer a future issue. Climate is here, it is now, it is happening. I'm supposed to be in Nairobi's long rain season at this point, but where are the rains? as I remember from last year. But a recent Lancet study found that 59% of young people feel hopeless about the planet's future, and they're not just carrying books to school, they're carrying this existential dread. So my question is, where do we go from here? And what is that opportunity? So we can reframe this crisis as a call to innovate, a call to action, responsibly and compassionately. Starting at our schools, climate and wellness hubs, start digital wellness and sustainability clubs or societies, teach green tech alongside green values, embed unplugged moments. Nature will, Kenya is so beautiful, guys. I wish we had this in Johannesburg, South Africa. Journaling, breathing practices into the curriculum, and creating classrooms that don't just prepare kids for exams, but preparing them for the skills and how to navigate uncertainty. In our homes, having a conscious digital culture where we can co-create screen routines with children, not top-down rules, but shared agreements in that regard. Introduce the idea of device Shabbat, so one tech-free evening a week for family reconnection.